Up next on the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Bad Hombre. This is a dark Mexican lager by Lunchbox Brewing Company, and it comes in at 5% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to the Day Beer Review. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, glad to have you back. Today I am looking at a beer that is actually produced very near where I live, on Long Island, a few towns away. And what I'm looking at is Bad Hombre. This is a dark Mexican lager, and it is by Lunchbox Brewing Company. Now, Lunchbox Brewing Company is a small brewing company in Belmore, which is, if you're on the island, it's on the Babylon line and all that kind of stuff like that. So this is a really easy brewery to get to. I just haven't had the time. So the other night, my friend Kevin, who's been on the channel, and I went, we tried out their trivia stuff, and the beer I had there was this really good dark Mexican lager. Now, these guys did not give me this beer. I paid whatever it was. I don't remember what a 4-pack cost. But it was whatever it was there. It was a reasonable enough price. I don't think it was over 25 bucks, and it might have been less than that. Now it does say this is brewed and packaged by Lunchbox Brewing Company in Belmore, New York, and it's lunchboxbrewery.com. There is a QR code, but I don't know if that's gonna get onto YouTube. If you want to scan it, pause here, try to get their stuff, to go and check it out. But this is a really small brewery. It's open a couple days a week. First time I went there, I thought the place was beautiful, nice design, good amount of chairs, a couple of food trucks in the back. So, if you're on Long Island and you're looking for, a nice little brewery, I would check out Lunchbox Brewing Company. For the first time being there, I thought it was actually pretty good. So, so this isn't as honest a review as it could be, because I have had this off tap. So, and I liked it. I, quite frankly, had 3 of them that night because we were there for a while and they were really good. And at 5%, listen, the whole time, I was getting a ride or I was Ubering. So, I wasn't really concerned about ABV, but 5% is not bad. It's about the same as a Budweiser, not quite, as light as a Bud Light, and definitely not as light as a Guinness. But, a nice Mexican lager. I am using my trusty Guinness glass. Let's give it a pour. I have washed this and wiped it like 5 times. If there are bubbles, I'm sorry. All right, let's give it a pour. This pour is a nice caramel color. Almost like a cream soda color. I don't know if anybody out there has had cream soda. It's sort of a dying soda flavor. Good amount of carbonation, which I have to be honest, even on tap, I noticed there was a good amount of carbonation. And to be honest, you guys have seen me pour beers before. I'm not always the best at it, but this has a nice caramel brown color to it. Almost reminds me of that Cape May Oktoberfest that I did a review on last year. That sort of coppery color. A good head on it. Again, I thought the carbonation was a little robust. That's not to say it's bad, but it definitely pushes the flavors forward. And I'm getting sort of that caramel. Sorry, I tasted a little bit. Yeah, there's some of that caramelness there. There's some roastiness to this. Let's give it a taste. This last year, I've had a lot of craft Mexican lagers and some macros as well. And I have to tell you, I really do like the style. It's not taxing on the palate. It doesn't make you search to figure out what the hell it is. Like this one. This has a really nice sort of basic roasty flavor to it. There is just a hint of bitterness on the back end. Quite frankly, this is a beautiful beer. That caramel color is sort of represented in the flavor also, but it's not sweet. It's just sort of there in the background. Almost that hint, and I do mean a hint of burnt sugar. I don't know why, but I'm getting a weird reflection in my glasses. I thought maybe I had a little bit of the head of the beer on my face, but I guess not. So yeah, there's a beautiful flavor combination here. There's a nice light roastiness to it. As you go back, you get a little bit of sort of the yeasty weediness of the beer as well. There's just a hint of that caramelly burnt sugar on the back end. And you know, this is why, like I said, the carbonation was robust. And I also said that wasn't a bad thing. This carbonation, as you swallow it, really pushes sort of the flavors up through your sinus cavities. And you really do get a good sense of, you know, like what this beer tastes like. And there's a lot of nuance to it. Now, do you have to go struggling through this beer to figure out what the hell it's trying to be? No, because it is exactly what it says on the can. It is a good, solid, well-crafted Mexican lager. It is very drinkable. And I'll tell you something else. Not only is it very drinkable, this is one of those beers that I would almost put into the category of being a little dangerous. You know, I've said this before on the channel. To me, the earmark of a very good brewer is somebody who can put the alcohol in the beer, especially high ABV beers, let's be honest, and you don't taste it. This is not a particularly high ABV beer, but I will say this. There is no alcohol burn. There is no, excuse me, there is no bitter hoppiness on the back end of it. This could easily be a nice, smooth daily drinker, but that's also the problem. You know, like, excuse me, like I said, it is a little gassy. The major problem I'm seeing here is that this is one that if you had it on a hot day, I could see you wanting another one, and that becomes problematic when you lose track of those, like, 5% beers. They do add up, and I have freaking hiccups now. What is it? You have to gulp a lot of beer really fast to get rid of the hiccups? I really don't know. So I'm going to try to struggle through this, and we'll review it around the damn hiccups. So anyway, to go back to this, Lunchbox Brewery is this small brewery in Belmore, which is another town on the south shore of Long Island. Nice little, you know what, I'm gonna pause here. All right, I'm back, hopefully without the hiccups. So as I was saying before my hiccups so rudely interrupted me, Lunchbox Brewing Company is a small brewery in Belmore, which is only a couple towns away from me. You know, easily accessible. The price on the beer was actually not bad. I wanna say it was, I wanna say, I can definitely say it was under 25 for the 4-pack, but I feel like it might have been even less than that. I'm just not sure. You can go to their website if you want to check it out. It is, again, called, their website is lunchboxbrewery.com. Now, this was produced on 7.3. Here we are on 7.25-ish. And I have to tell you, this is a beautiful beer. I bought a 4-pack. This is the first of the 4-pack that I've had. So I can say that, you know, from the standpoint of getting this at their beer, you know, at their brewery and in the can, they are consistently really a solid beer. So it's definitely one I would keep in my fridge, especially considering that it's, you know, relatively close to where I am. Now, since it is so close, I am going to go there and try some of their other beers, try them out for the channel. Because, you know, it'd be nice if a local place were sort of, you know, really good and really accessible. Because I try a lot of beers, and a lot of beers are really good. Like, you know, a video I just shot before this was for Gusto Brewing. They would be my go-to brewery, but it's freaking 3 hours away, you know? So, like, if I can get one that's only, let's say, 30 minutes away, it would be a hell of a lot better. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the review. Once again, this is Bad Hombre Dark Mexican Lager by Lunchbox Brewing Company, and they are in Belmore, New York, and this is coming in at 5% ABV. If you see it, if you happen to be on Long Island, it's definitely a brewery I would check out. And again, I am not sponsored by these guys. I just went there, checked it out, was impressed, and it's definitely worth the trip. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time on End of the Day Beer Review. Cheers.